Imagine waking up one morning and hearing that the most powerful country on earth no longer exists. Its soldiers have disappeared, its leaders have lost control, its cities are being attacked, its people are running for their lives. Now imagine this happened nearly 1,600 years ago. The mighty Roman Empire, the strongest empire the world had ever seen, fell apart. But here's the biggest surprise. Rome was not destroyed by just one enemy. It slowly destroyed itself. So, what really happened? How could an empire that ruled millions of people, built amazing roads, created giant cities, and had one of the strongest armies in history suddenly collapse? Today, we're going back in time to uncover the true story of the fall of the Roman Empire. This is a story filled with powerful emperors, brave soldiers, greedy leaders, invading tribes, and mistakes that changed the world forever. Let's begin. Around 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire was the greatest superpower on earth. It stretched across Europe, North Africa, and parts of Asia. No matter where people traveled, they could find Roman roads, Roman laws, Roman soldiers, and Roman cities. Rome had everything: huge buildings, busy markets, strong armies, beautiful temples. Millions of people lived under Roman rule. The empire became rich by trading gold, silk, spices, and many other valuable goods. Its army was feared everywhere. Many kingdoms surrendered before the Romans even reached their gates. To many people, Rome looked unbeatable. But behind all that power, small cracks were already beginning to appear. As Rome grew larger, it became harder to control. Imagine trying to manage hundreds of cities without phones, cars, or airplanes. Messages had to travel by horse or ship. Sometimes it took weeks or even months for news to reach the emperor. If enemies attacked one side of the empire, help often arrived too late. The emperor simply could not be everywhere at once. Soon, different parts of the empire began facing different problems. Some areas became poor. Others were attacked by enemies. Some leaders ignored the emperor's orders. The giant empire was becoming too difficult to manage. Not every emperor was wise. Some cared only about money. Others cared only about power. A few became cruel and selfish. Instead of helping the people, they spent huge amounts of money on expensive palaces, giant parties, and fancy clothes. Some even punished anyone who disagreed with them. The people began losing trust in their leaders. Even worse, some emperors were murdered, others were forced out. In some years, Rome had several different emperors. The government became weak and unstable. Running such a huge empire cost a lot of money. Soldiers had to be paid. Roads had to be repaired. Cities had to be protected. But the government was running out of money, so taxes became higher. Farmers and workers struggled to feed their families. Many people became poor. Some businesses closed. The government also started making coins with less silver and gold. Soon, people no longer trusted the money. Prices rose higher and higher. Life became harder for everyone. The Roman army had once been the strongest fighting force in the world. Roman soldiers were well trained. They were disciplined. They protected the empire with pride. But over time, things changed. Many Romans no longer wanted to join the army, so the empire hired foreign soldiers instead. Some fought bravely, but others were loyal only to the money they were paid. Some even joined Rome's enemies. The army was no longer as united as before. The empire's greatest strength was becoming one of its biggest weaknesses. As Rome became weaker, its enemies became stronger. Different tribes from the north began moving toward Roman lands. Some wanted safety, others wanted land, some wanted treasure. Groups like the Goths and the Vandals attacked Roman towns and cities. The Roman army fought back, but it could no longer win every battle. The attacks became more frequent. People living near the borders became frightened. Many villages were destroyed. The empire was slowly losing control. The empire had become so large that one emperor could no longer rule it alone. So it was divided into two parts, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire. At first, this seemed like a smart idea. Each half had its own emperor, but over time, the eastern half became richer and stronger. The western half became poorer and weaker. When danger came, the Western Empire often had to fight alone. This made its problems even worse. Then came one of the darkest moments in Roman history. In the year 410, enemy warriors entered the city of Rome. For 3 days they took treasures, destroyed buildings, and spread fear across the city. People could hardly believe it. Rome, the city that had conquered so much of the world, had itself been conquered. Although the empire survived for a while after this attack, the people knew something had changed forever. The empire no longer seemed unstoppable. The years passed. The problems became worse. The army grew weaker. The government became more divided. The economy struggled. Enemies kept attacking. Finally, in the year 476, the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire lost his throne. His name was Romulus Augustulus. A Germanic leader removed him from power. This event is remembered as the fall of the Western Roman Empire. An empire that had ruled for centuries had finally come to an end. But its story did not end there. Even after the empire fell, Rome continued to shape the world. Many countries still use Roman laws. Engineers still study Roman roads and buildings. The calendar we use today was influenced by Roman ideas. Many languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian, grew from the language of ancient Rome. The Eastern Roman Empire continued for nearly another 1,000 years before it finally fell. Rome's power disappeared, but its ideas lived on. The Roman Empire did not fall in one day. It fell because many small problems grew into very big ones. Weak leadership, money troubles, political fighting, a changing army, too much land to control, constant attacks from outside. Together, these problems slowly broke one of history's greatest empires. The story of Rome reminds us that no nation, no matter how powerful, can survive forever if it ignores its problems. Every great civilization must protect its people, make wise decisions, and stay united. That is why even after more than 1,500 years, people around the world are still fascinated by the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for another incredible story from the past, because history isn't just about yesterday. It's about understanding today and building a better tomorrow.